What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we get an opportunity to take the new Chevy RST EV overlanding along the Cottonwood Springs in Utah.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
Over the past few years, Dev and I have had the opportunity to try out several new and exciting products. And this one happened to present itself, and we said, you know what? Why not? Now, we've always been pretty partial to our gasoline engines. You know, we just bought the Hemi and had it put in the Gladiator. But when we had an opportunity to try out an electric vehicle, we thought, you know, we could give it a chance just to see what it's like. Now, this is not going to be a review video. This is simply a travel video of us exploring the beautiful Cottonwood Road just outside of St. George. We just happened to be driving a different vehicle than we normally do. We had a couple days to explore here around the St. George, Utah area, and one of the trails that we had picked out from Trails Off-road was the Cottonwood Springs. It's a really easy road, but it has a lot of beautiful scenery, and it also has a lot of camping opportunity along the route. As we traveled along this beautiful slot canyon, we knew that there had to be some incredible campsites nestled right along it. And we really lucked up when we found this one. This was going to be perfect for us to set up a base camp for a couple of days.
Come show you home.
After getting camp set up, we sat around and marveled at the beauty that was around us. Everything from the mountains to the gorge down below us. And I even actually had a chance to sit around and do a little bit of editing work while we were here. As daylight turned to dark, we found ourselves in the perfect spot to watch the International Space Station go by. The next day, we got in the Silverado EV and had a chance to play with some of the other buttons that you don't normally find on a traditional truck. One of them that struck me pretty cool was the Sidewinder. This mode allows this truck to crab walk from side to side while keeping the truck in line. We all thought this was a pretty cool feature. Aspen needed a little extra cooling off, so Misty took care of him with a little personal fan while they were in the back of the EV. Today was also a really good day to get out and explore some of our surroundings, like this beautiful gorge here.
Places on the East Coast, but there's nothing like being out here.
Yes.
We dropped back off the mountain to explore some other places that we wanted to check out, like the Leed historic CCC Camp. This camp was built in the 1930s to build some of the roads like the Cottonwood Springs road that we had been camping on. It also had folks here that were responsible for building the campgrounds that were in that area as well.
Western Diamondback.
The Leed CCC Camp was not the only place that we wanted to visit. The next place on the list was the ghost town of Grafton, Utah. The town of Grafton was inhabited from 1851 to about 1945. Since then, it has had several films shot on that location. Names such as In Old Arizona, The Arizona Kid, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were just a few.
Oh, that's cool.
Today, the majority of the buildings are still here and have been restored to give you an idea of what life would have been like along the Virgin River with the Zion in the background. Life in this area must have been very hard. Between the rough weather, the droughts, the floods, the Indian attacks, and all of the other things, you had to be pretty tough to be able to grow to any age of it all here. We always like to visit these old cemeteries like this. We like to pay our respects, and we also like to get an idea of just how it was to live around here. You can tell a lot by the age of the folks that are in these cemeteries. After leaving Grafton, it was time to make our way back to camp. I'd left the camper in a pretty tight spot, but when we got back, being able to hook up to it was pretty easy with the rear steer on the Silverado. After getting everything all hooked back up, we decided to take an evening stroll and check out some more of our surroundings.
That is.
That is a,
Oh, look, it looks like someone took a bite out of that one.
oh wow.
The next morning, we were up pretty early and back on the move. Today, we were going to finish the Cottonwood Springs Road. If you get the opportunity to make it to Southwest Utah, around the St. George area, there's beautiful red rocks, but there's also a lot of other beautiful color. Take the time and spend it in the Dixie National Forest, northwest of St. George. We've really enjoyed this area and we're going to be back. We also enjoyed getting to take out this new Silverado RST EV. It was quite a bit different than our Hemi, and you can look forward to some more videos around the EV platform. Like always, we appreciate the time that you've spent with us riding along the trail. And until next time, see ya.